Hello, Energy Alliance Group of Michigan. I want to take this time to introduce to you what I think is a really exciting program or platform that we now have access to called the WebinarJam platform, and its sister platform called the EverWebinar program. It's going to allow us to take our marketing to a whole different level. Basically, it will allow us to do a training program that we're already putting together or that we already have created and make it work for us literally round the clock through what are, for all intents and purposes, live webinars. The WebinarJam philosophy is this: if the cameras are rolling, the company is growing. So anything that we do, whether it's written, whether it is PowerPoints, whether it's live presentations, if we capture it, we can use it to grow the company. And capturing it doesn't mean actually literally using cameras. It means it can be just a website or the laptop like I'm using right now to do a voice over a PowerPoint presentation. The key benefit that I think it does for us is it allows us to leverage to a maximum degree all of the information that we already have, the videos that we have stored up, the reports that we have created that are just sitting on our website waiting for someone to access them, like the 10 questions report, the presentations that we have made or are presently making, different blog posts. We can take the blogs and talk about our offerings, our webinar offerings, and send them out to any number of different platforms, LinkedIn, Google+, and people can then access our webinars through links that are embedded in the blogs, plus the research that we have. And we have tons of it, especially in the commercial real estate area, where people that use PACE have a far greater ability to attract tenants. Tenants stay longer, they have higher rents, and when we can share that information in a way that is easy to consume and to consume at a convenient time, which is what I will show you in a little bit, that's what allows us to, that's what the EverWebinar program will allow us to do. The benefits are many, and I will just touch on the surface. But first of all, we don't need the expense of hiring a video photographer. We can do this with what we have already. Very, very little expense. The platform's already paid for. Scott bought the platform recently, and now we can use it. And the more we use it, the better it's going to pay off for us. And when I say use it, it's going to build our email list. It's going to increase our leads, our contacts, our ability to market to people, and it's all huge. We can also take a pre-recorded webinar. That's what I'm making right now. I'm recording a presentation on the computer, and I'll patch it in. And we can use a live introduction. We can use a video camera and introduce a speaker and say, here's the presentation, and then seamlessly lay in a recorded program. We have all the equipment we need already. There's no need to buy anything else. And we have an incredible library of PowerPoint presentations that we can now customize and present in so many different ways, live webinars such as our PACE programs. And we can also take the videos that we have and insert them in, which I'm going to show you right now. This is a 1.5 minute video, so bear with me. It's the PACE presentation most of you have seen, and it's going to play, and I will come back in at the end. Another powerful benefit of the WebinarJam program is the ability to customize presentations. So we can take a presentation on PACE and provide the guts of it in a very professional recording, whether it's a voiceover, a PowerPoint, or actual video presentation of one of our live events. And then we can customize it for our various verticals and speak directly to them. So we can tell vendors how PACE can help them sell more of their products. We can explain to property owners what it does to commercial real estate and all the specific benefits for them. We can also talk to business owners and tell them how they can reduce their cost of energy while not interfering with their cash flow. And we can talk to contractors about closing more projects, and we can talk to communities. We could put together a whole presentation just for county commissioners that are considering PACE, and they could view it at their convenience and get all the specific information about the economic development potential of PACE that was very nicely elaborated on in the Midland area when we were talking about PACE with them. That's what attracted them. And when we can speak that language, they're going to be far more likely to pass PACE in their area. One of the things we talked about today on our call was the CPAs, so Certified Public Accountants. When we can create a presentation that speaks specifically about the ability of PACE to be written as not a debt but as an expense, and how it helps in, if we can speak their language, we can put together a presentation and market it specifically to our contacts within the Michigan Certified Public Accountant community, and give them a presentation that will make them ooh and ah, because it is not generic, it's very, very focused on them. So the Ever webinar is not just about webinars. It is an incredibly complex system that has so many bells and whistles I won't even bother you with it, but the beauty of it is that it's all automated. You can automate any number of pre-event emails. The emails can include embedded videos. They can include offers for information products. The Ever webinar platform allows us to take a perfect webinar without having to stage it or reproduce it, and just capture it one time and then replay it countless or unlimited number of times. You think about the cost of putting together a live event. We have to set up a venue, we have to do marketing for the event, we have to get people there, our team shows up, then we capture some contact information, and then the webinar is done and we just depend on follow-ups with the people that were there. Well, with the Ever webinar program, we can do all of that same stuff and then put it out on the internet in any number of different ways: email, newsletters, blogs, different groups that we're involved with, and they can re-access that webinar as if it's a live webinar. And they'll sign up for it. We will capture their email address. They will choose an appropriate time that works for them, and then they will sit in on the webinar and get the presentation recreated exactly like it was initially. So incredible power with that. And then also the ability to do so much more in follow-up when it comes to offering them products. The Ever webinar platform allows us to charge for subsequent training. So if we set up a training program that's paid for, it can be an online program. We do it one time and they pay for it any time that someone uses it or signs up for it. And it can create a steady income stream in whatever market we choose to influence. And this is one of the things that I think is so important, is that it works in the background. So we're working on the live projects that we're doing, or fulfilling those projects that we already have in place, but our marketing is working in the background because we've done it once and it keeps working for all of us. So in closing, the WebinarJam along with the Ever webinar platform is an incredibly winning combination for EAG, and it allows us to highlight our thought leadership. It allows us to take all the information that we've acquired. It allows us to take our expertise and leverage it. It allows us to influence different verticals with very highly focused information at virtually no cost. So you think about the traditional marketing where you're paying for advertising and TV ads and newspaper. This can do it virtually for free. It goes along with everything we're already doing: our newsletters, our blogs, our involvement on LinkedIn. So it's a very powerful program. And I want you to understand that I've been working through this since Kurt introduced us to it. My goal is to have 100 webinars under my belt that I'm doing on my own without an audience, so I can get real conversant with it. And we're just getting started. I have only touched the surface of what is possible here, and the company is growing in leaps and bounds. And I was on a webinar yesterday, and they talked about the incredible power of webinars to build businesses, because it's a format that is convenient. There's no cost, there's no travel, there's no hotel, on both ends, both the participant and the presenter. So also the convenience factor of watching it when it's convenient for them, as opposed to having to attend an event and leave work. So it's just an incredibly powerful and evolving platform that I think we will be leaders in if we take advantage of it now and get started. It will position us. I was talking to one of our alliance partners the other day, Kurt. It was Tom Gleason, and I told him we were working on webinars, and he says, he was incredulous. He says, "You guys do webinars? Like that was something that only the big people do." And I think that's what the potential is for us if we brainstorm the flow chart of our webinar platform or program, set it up, get it going one time, and then let it run for us. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this experience, and I look forward to bringing you some webinars that are finished and allowing us to take advantage of them and market them to whomever to dramatically grow the Energy Alliance Group of Michigan. Thanks for being engaged.